All right. What's happening, everyone? Welcome back to Limitless Crypto. My name is Lorenzo Corrado. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, as always, on the live stream. Today's Tuesday. We had the weekly open here. We are now seeing the true essence of Bitcoin this week. We're gonna find out everything in a matter of minutes. All right, you're gonna be completely updated about what we're gonna be expecting here for Bitcoin right now. It is a bit crazy. All right, it is a bit crazy. We are tapping into the daily level here. We're having a retest right now, and this is a true maker or breaker. Are we gonna see a short-term bounce continuing to the upside, or was this all Bitcoin had, and are we gonna come back down again? You will know in a matter of minutes here. An absolute pleasure as always. Great to have you here. Nebosha, Pavel, Igor. The fam is back. The fam is ready. The fam is committed. I can see it. I can feel the energy. I can see it in Discord. I can see it on YouTube. The comments do not lie here. You guys are willing to change your life. You guys are willing to set yourself up for success. Okay? I know it can be stressful here, but again, if I can make it and Thomas can make it, then everyone can make it. Okay? We're gonna lead you through everything. We're gonna make sure that you are gonna, prepare or be fully prepared for everything that's coming in 2024, 2025. And the reason why is because you only got one shot, and that's it. Then it's done. Okay? So it's up to you to decide right now. Is this truly what you want? Do you want to change something up here? Do you truly want to become a good trader? A good risk manager? You want to understand risk to reward? Then you have to make these investments in your life as well. That's just the reality of what we're doing here on a day-to-day basis. Okay, great to see you, Maria. Great to see you, Martol. Great to see you, Jackie and Russia. My mother is in the building here. My mother is always watching every single day. And even my grandmother. My grandmother doesn't understand English yet. She's still watching just to look at the charts and to see how I'm talking a different language here. So a big shout out to my grandmother. A big shout out to my mother. It's also amazing for that family supporter. Beautiful to see that. Derek, Aunt, good to see you, my man. Dire Straits, Boston. Where from, bro? You're from the US? Good to see you again, man. Welcome back, my friend. Good to see you. Rafal, always here to support. John, fantastic here. John, let me know what you think about your experience in Discord right now. Let me know in the chat as well what you think. How's it going so far? You have been now with us for a couple of weeks, I believe. So what is your overall impression and experience in our beautiful Discord? A big shout out to everyone here in our Discord regardless here, and to everyone who's winning and making sure that we keep winning here. And if we don't win, we learn. All right, that's the mindset we should have here regardless. I know there are a lot of guys that are right now still sitting on their, we call that the break-even phase, where it doesn't really feel that you can, improve, that you're constantly neglecting the fact that, like, you make some money, you lose some money, you make some money, you lose some money, and it keeps happening over and over again. It's gonna be a matter of time here before we solve that problem. All right, that's our goal. That's my goal, my vision here for you guys as well. Vicky, as always, is active. She's doing it. She's doing it. Okay, she's putting in the work. She's taking these trades here, also by herself, and she is constantly trying to elevate her. So Vicky, I find it incredible that you're also completely pro crypto right now. It's just amazing to see. Phil Sinclair, a big shout out to you, my friend. Also, gotta say thanks to all here for these signals. I'm lost without them. Well, we're gonna change this thing up in the near future here, but it's a good start. It's a good start. That's why we have created these signals as well for you guys, obviously, to just make sure that at least you have some sort of framework, some foundation to work with. Okay, that's very, very important. So amazing. Already indeed played out. We're gonna talk about that in a second here. We have Faruka as well, took an already trade as well here from the stream. Cowboy, as always, is murdering the charts. Absolutely ridiculous here. Every Asian session, he's practically giving you guys some event, or he's hosting an event also in our crypto VIP section. I highly recommend you to go there and to join them. Okay, we have Maverick in there, a couple other guys in there, constantly going back and forth with each other, on a very high level here. So that's amazing to see. Big shout out to Trader Tim. as always, okay? So let's dive into the charts here. And let's talk about Bitcoin right now at this current moment in time. Yes, we are still looking relatively bullish here, but the question is it time to sell right now? Is it time to start preparing for a potential sell or potential rejection? All right, for that, we also have to look at a couple of major charts. Of course, the Tether dominance is one major factor. Some liquidity, it's another layer. And then it comes down, of course, to, you know, the actual execution phase, okay? Make sure you smash up that like button right now. Just completely terminate, like Trader Tim, that like button here. It's very important for us. Just do it right now. Click on that button. It's time to level up here. All right. With that in mind here, let's go to the daily chart and look at the daily time frame of Bitcoin right now. 40.2K. This is where we came above in a very short period of time until, and this is important to mention, until the Tether dominance, guys, tapped into that daily level, okay? We came back into that daily level. We came all the way up to the weekly. We saw that rejection of the weekly. That rejection of the weekly was initially that bounce that we experienced here. That's where these trades came from. Now we're seeing that on the daily time frame here that we actually are kind of holding up right now at that support. So we flip this now in support, at least in the short term here, coming from a weekly rejection. So we're sitting now in between two levels. We're sitting in between the weekly and the daily, okay? Within the daily and the weekly, there is one more level to look at, and that's exactly the level where we are right now at this current moment here. So if you go to the hourly chart here, and I'm going to explain why this is so important for the Bitcoin price, you can see that this is the true make or breaker, okay? If you start closing above this particular area of resistance right now, and this turns into support, there is a very, very big chance that we will push back towards the weekly one more time here, all right? That we're going to come back again to the 6.5%, which is going to, of course, cause, you know, again, a pullback for, you know, most of all the altcoins, most of the, you know, of course, the Bitcoin chart, but also the Ethereum chart, you know, so we have to take in consideration that the weekly time frame is, of course, key at 6.5%. That's the major level of resistance right now for the Tether dominance. At the same time, we're now below a local resistance, all right? That's why you see right now here that we had this at support, at resistance, and currently still sitting at resistance here. But the way we're holding at the moment here, I really want to warn you right now that it's truly a make or breaker. And if you come above it, it's a very easy sell for Bitcoin. I'll explain exactly why that is, all right? The daily time frame says it all already. This is just a serious area of resistance. We talked about this as well. We have been coming up or staying above the $40,000, you know, ever since we came above it in December, early December here. All right, so that's almost now what? Almost 2 months ago, okay? We came up, we tapped into it, came up, tapped into it, came up, tapped into it, and then we came up, we're not strong enough any longer, and we came down and we flushed out a bunch of liquidity to the downside here. That was that constant sell-off that we have experienced. All right. After that, we're seeing the pullback. So whatever it was previously strong support, obviously right now could potentially turn into strong resistance. So I just want you to be always aware of the higher time frame, the daily levels. Like it's super easy to see. You can remove a lot of noise by looking at the higher time frame and just understand where Bitcoin is at. Start with that first, and then from there on, we can go, you know, to the lower time frame here. So there's our two scenarios right now that are extremely key. Number one is scenario that we're going to get rejected here, and we're going to come down here. Then there is a big chance that Bitcoin will try one more time to push up, all right, and start retesting again the daily high here, which is now sitting at around 40.2 all the way up to 40.5. You could actually say that this is kind of that resistance layer that we would have here, and we would actually tap into that particular zone. If Tether right now decides to break through here, through the 6.34%, then this is one of the easiest short setups that you could look for. All right. And the main reason why that is because look at that compression. The way we're coming up here, you know, towards strong daily resistance, building that short-term liquidity here. And again, we're compressing potentially to then break to the downside. If that happens, these type of trade setups that you see here, based upon previous data, are just, you know, major expansions usually. So these could turn into, you know, bigger pullbacks one more time here. All right. So that's why it's so important to take a very close attention, pay very close attention to the tether dominance. Closure above here, boom, Bitcoin short. Done. Deal. Daily resistance, confirmation from tether, Bitcoin short. Okay. Secondary. This is the book map. And you might think, wow, this is super complex. What are all these like bubbles and like what are these red lines? Well, you could see these red lines as the liquidity that's built up here currently. You know, these consist of, you know, buy limits, stop losses, you know, you name it. Okay, it's all sitting below here. So the major resistance is now, you know, at like 40.8, but below, look at how much of that liquidity is now set up below as well here. I just don't want you guys to neglect this right here. This is some serious, you know, liquidity that's sitting right below the 39,000 again. All right. This is, of course, it kind of makes sense right now. I think that people were extremely happy with the bounce in general. All right. And the fact that, you know, the euphoria comes back again after being so depressive, coming down day after day after day. No hope for Bitcoin, breaking the $40,000 and then seeing a really nice bounce, you know, that could directly trigger people to think, oh, we're back. We're going to go to the moon. We're going to test the $45,000. Well, that's an idea. However, it's still something that we always, you know, have to look at it objectively. We always have to understand, okay, yes, that's the case. That could be happening here. There is a bunch of liquidity also on the top side here. But at the same time, we cannot neglect that that confirmation and all these levels that are sitting right there below, between the $39,000 and the $38,000. Okay, so it's a major zone. You have to understand too. So that's why we have the bookmap. You can go to bookmap.com. You can get a free trial, I believe, and I think you can figure it out for yourself and see how it works. If not, ask me anything in Discord. We'll get you hooked up and we'll get it sorted here. Can be extremely useful if you apply it and use it the right way here. You don't have to directly use it for trading, but just to get an understanding of some major levels. For example, if you look at the Bitcoin chart right here and you look at the 40.8K here. Now let's imagine that this was a level. Then you can say, okay, there is like a big massive red line right there. What is happening there? What is the reason? 40.85. Okay, well, let's see what's happening around the 40.85. Aha. All right, I see. Fixed range volume profile. Boom. It's sitting around the point of control of that range. This is where we started to range from, expand from, range from, expand from. So it's one of these ranges where we have built also potential of sell limits or whatever the case may be here. Okay, so yeah, the confirmation is going to be key for us today if we're going to look for new setups in the market. And I think that's just, you know, something that we just really have to need an extremely close eye on in order for us to move further here. Then we have also, of course, as always, the Bitcoin dominance. Okay, the Bitcoin dominance is holding at support. All right, at the 51.76% here. That was that initial area of support. We broke above it and we're kind of still holding above it. So as long as we're holding above this here and the tether dominance is going to break down, let me know in the chat. What will, break up. So tether dominance up. The Bitcoin dominance up. What's going to happen? In the chat right now. I want to hear it from you guys, okay? You guys have been paying attention here. We're going to do some back and forward stuff today. We're going to keep it a little bit more interactive as well here. I want to have your bias, okay? Bitcoin dominance support, tether dominance breakout to the upside here. What is the conclusion for us when looking at trading setups in the market? Let me know. In the meantime, okay, let's go quickly over a couple of important trade setups that we were talking about yesterday. Of course, we talked about a bounce. Yeah, first of all, we said total 3, right? That was something that we were looking for. Total 3 was that zone here. And you could see that like once we're coming back towards that range right now, you know, starting actually already here. you could see that we started to face that resistance here. Okay, just for the newers right here. Total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is the market cap, the total market cap of practically every single altcoin out there right now. Okay, sitting at around 460 billion. Yesterday we were at 450 billion. All right, so that's a $10 billion increase. Crazy enough. All right, so therefore we are now back in that range here, and now we have to start paying very, very close attention. Is this gonna continue to the upside? Are we gonna break the highs here? Or is this simply gonna be a rollover? Okay, just a turnover right now of breaking the initial lows. That means that if you break this low right there, you come up, boom, you roll over, you come back down again due to that rejection that you're currently seeing around that particular zone. Let me know in the chat here. Bitcoin dominance up, Tether dominance up here means obviously Martin was the first altcoin shorts, correct. Altcoins will drop heavily. Okay, altcoins will bleed. So that short-term euphoric here could easily be turning. Okay, I just want you to be aware of it. And then it's much more beneficial to trade altcoins again. All right, the reason why is because if the Bitcoin dominance continues up here, then altcoins will most likely bleed heavier than the Bitcoin price. Okay, so therefore, once we know what to trade, the question is which one is potentially the weakest here, or which setups are potentially the best. Well, you have thousands of cryptocurrencies to choose from. So how do you know which one to pick? Well, that's what we're gonna do in a second here. Okay. So for now, let's go over yesterday's trades. Yeah, couple of I think overall good, right? So Cardano starting at the top here. Cardano did never came back here. So we wanted to see that pullback right here coming along here. Did not came back here. What it actually did was it came towards this range. We talked about this many times before. You go from range to range, right? So you have a range right here. You have a range right there. If you want to trade up, you want to trade to the next range. That's the ideal, especially on the lower time frame here. So that's kind of the range where we came into. I think this was the point of control or the value area low. It's the exact value area low here. We call this in the Limitless Trading Academy the magic touch. That's again a rejection right there. And at the same time, ooh, look at all the liquidity that's getting built up below right now. This is now not really looking that good here, or at least this could lead to downside. So it can be fantastic as well for us at the same time. Now, this is a trade that didn't play out, of course, when you're looking at it here, because we wanted the price to come back down first, grab our orders, stop loss below, and then look for further continuation to the upside. So that was no trade right here. Then we had Link. Woohoo! Look at it from yesterday here. If you don't believe me, go to yesterday's stream. All right, just look at the setups here. Look at the way we looked at the high, the entry, the stop loss, and so on and so on here. This is what we call perfection, okay? We saw the higher high. We saw that higher low. We created a liquidity here that was even better before you came down here. Even increased your opportunity more due to the fact that this is what you want to see most of the time. Reasons for price to push up here. Tapped into the entry and boom, expansion to the upside. Okay, that was a fantastic setup for Chainlink. Polkadot, same thing. Okay, very, very similar. We wanted to see that move here. We actually came even higher than expected. Okay, the target, the NTP was right here at 6.4. Probably would have gone out there, right? Completely. But anyways, I think that was a great TP point here. The fact that you came down, that could have been a new trade. However, I think that was just a fantastic thing to look at here. So Polkadot was, very, very similar as Chainlink. Also came back down towards the point of control. And we talked about the point of control. Remember, we said on the higher time frame, there is a range sitting below. So that range was right there, I believe. So I need to look here. Yeah, it was this range right here. Okay. This range, the point of control, what happened was we came above the point of control. all the way from a range way back, and we use that and leverage that as extra confidence, as an extra level of support right here. So that's why Polkadot did something very, very similar. Then we had Stellar as well, or Stellar, sorry. Stellar. XLM here did not came back. We actually held at the point of control. So we talked about that here, that potentially point of control could hold here. But again, we had that gap below. We were not in the 50%. There were a lot of reasons why we wanted to see price coming down a little bit lower in that case here. So, you know, it didn't came down the way we wanted it to come down here. Of course, we want to have the best risk to reward. So therefore, if you're going to enter at the point of control here, the question should then be, fantastic, okay, you are now entering right here at the point of control. But if you want to enter here, okay, where are you going to put your stop loss? Right below the lows? Or right below here? I mean, yeah, it would still be a really nice trade overall, but I think the risk to reward, you know, would have been just much, much better if you could have entered below and then, of course, target the highs there. So therefore, in a pullback was, in my opinion, a little bit more of a confirmation. So that one did not came to our initial entry right here. Then we had Ordi. Ordi indeed was the first trade that actually came into our entry. We were talking about a higher high closure as an extra confirmation here. Secondary though, it still held really nicely and it still came up pretty well. We held above the point of control, which was the most important. Why? Well, as long as you hold above it, no, your stop loss is below it. So that's kind of like the decision that you had to make for yourself. I know that there were some guys here in the chat or in the crypto wins section that actually took the Ordi trade here. So that is great to see. Around about, you know, this particular zone also came up here at the same time. The good part though about Ordi was that we also were starting to build at some point, you know, a lot of that liquidity to the upside here. So again, if you waited for that confirmation, then, you know, the trade would have been later because you got that confirmation right here. Okay. And then it would have been right there. They had to just draw the Fibonacci from swing low, you know, to swing high here. Okay. And I'm going to share with you guys also the Fibonacci settings for the people that are completely new. I think it's important to do so. Let me quickly, okay, let me remember this. I'm going to put this in the Discord for you guys here. I'm going to put it in the YouTube description as well. Or just use this right now, pause the stream and just copy it for yourself. But it's important. The 50, 62, 70.5, 79 are the most important levels to look at. You know, you want to look for trades below the 50. Okay, so we came into that range. I think that this was initially a range from, yeah, the point of control as well, right? The point of control came right here, and yeah, same scenario. Created still a nice higher high. So even if you had that confirmation, then it could have been a nice entry here. However, I did not provide you with the confirmation entry because there was no confirmation yet. So therefore, if you took that one aggressive, then it would still be a nice one. Harmony 1. Unfortunately, I have my limit order set for this one as well. It did came back down, but it did came down to the value area high. I have my entry right here and I had an entry right there. We talked about the spreading of the risk. So if you think that you're not 100% sure about, you know, which entry it's going to go to, you know, I'm willing to lose a trade to make more money eventually here. So that's why, for example, if you risk 1%, you know, the question is, okay, well, if the second entry gets hit here, then it's potentially turning into a 4-1. Eventually would have been a 6-1 or whatever the case may be. Did not play out though, so do take it into consideration. But, you know, then, you know, losing a trade is not a big deal. All right? You don't care about losing a trade if your second trade is a win here. And if you think, I don't want to risk 2%, I only want to risk 1%. Well, then just spread it amongst two different trades, 0.5% per trade. And therefore, could have been a nice one here. We did, however, came to the value area high. And the thing about that one was that, you know, we tapped into this zone right before. Okay, so we already, you know, saw that entry sitting around there. Okay, look at that entry, by the way. It would still be a perfect entry here. I was just looking slightly lower for my entry right there. But again, Man, that would have been a massive trade. Massive trade here. Okay. So, important stuff. But yeah, again, you can see now the potential of crypto, right? We have been doing this now for a couple of weeks already. The new channel right here. And we have been going through all kinds of setups here. We have now also been through some sort of different sentiments, right? We have been bearish. We have been bullish. You know, we have been neutral. We have been consolidating. So this is kind of the first time when we have covered practically every single layer. And you can see now the potential crypto has. Just think about this. Just visualize yourself right now that you become a better trader, that you start preparing, you start nailing this, and we can simplify it very much on stream and also off stream in our Discord and all the things that were still coming. Work on behind the scenes. Visualize this idea of getting these trades in a bull run. The moment the halving comes into play here, this could be the moment when the bull run starts. So no guarantees. I'm not here to promise you anything. But if it happens and you are prepared right now in 2, 3, 4 months from now, and you're setting yourself up for success, then imagine getting these type of entries right here for Polkadot, for example, or for Harmony One, or whatever we talked about here from our winning trades of today. Okay. And imagine things ripping up for days, if not weeks. We have seen that happening with many big cryptocurrencies right now. If you manage to get into a position here, the right entry with a minimum amount of risk, you can make a tremendous amount of money. And that's just the facts. However, it's not that easy. You have to be prepared. You have to put in the work. So I want from your side to be fully committed here. And then I'm fully committed to help you out doing it and achieving that. Okay? So therefore, just think about the potential it has here. But again, the start is there. We're getting in towards the momentum now. We're starting to get an understanding of these type of entries and setups. But it will get there. We will get there in a matter of time. Okay? Next up is already we discussed Arbitrum. What was with Arbitrum again? Oh yeah. So we had that was the only short setup that we were looking for. Yeah, okay. So we came up indeed, eventually tapped into that range. Saw a little bit of a reaction from it. 3% to the downside, and is now pushing back up here. Obviously this is very important. Then, you know, we were bullish. So this was the only like bearish setup that we were looking for. We had to wait for that, of course, that actual sentiment confirmation,
connection lost,
shift that we're looking for. Okay. Ding dong, there we go. Last was AVAX. AVAX was on the 1 hour chart here, also came up beautifully. We waited for price to push back to the weekly one more time, never came back up here. Is now actually tapping into the very area low. So this is where we could look for a potential reversal if the tether dominance will give us that indication right here. We don't have that confirmation yet. You know, we're still getting rejected at this particular moment. But again, this might be a very beautiful and interesting level to look at as well here. Back at the $32 here. So that's not a single loss today, okay? Dogecoin yesterday was a loss. This was not a single loss today. In regards to the setups we're looking at. Of course, not every setup is going to play out. You're probably not even going to catch every single setup as well here, okay? Makes sense. You set your limit orders. You don't want to fall into the market. Therefore, you know, if price doesn't come to your entry, whatever, man. There's always another one that does. And you just, you know, go for the average right here. Okay? That's beautiful. Ray says, hey, Lorenzo, good day to you. Good day, my friend. Good to see you. Arvin says, bro, how are you finding value areas and point of control and confirmation? So, great question. Great question. So, you know, I feel that the fixed range volume profile is the closest you can get onto what we call level 2 data. So, you know, level 1 is the candlestick chart, is your overall analysis. Setting your key levels, you know, trading, just candlestick. The volume, in my opinion, is one of the best, you know, confirmations and levels you can look for, due to the fact that, you know, these are usually levels that are quite hidden. All right, these are like levels that you don't really would see when you're drawing horizontal support or resistance levels or supply or demand levels. You know, sometimes these levels are at zones where you do not expect them to be. So that's why, you know, if you can then find these type of levels there, you know, I can gain some sort of an advantage here. So, you know, that's why how you do it is you look at a range. And we talked about this, like, I think 2 streams ago or 3 streams ago here, where we talked about that every range has a bunch of volume traded, right? Whenever you see these major expansions here, that's kind of irrelevant for the fixed forward profile, but every range has a lot of hidden information, all right? The secret sauce is in that range. So when you pull back into a range, then these hidden levels are giving you, you know, certain, you know, particular levels you can look for this confirmation. So the way you do that is by just going from the left to the right of that range. It shows you these 3 lines, these 3 bars. We call this the value area low. This is what we call the point of control. This is where the most volume has been traded in that range. And then we have the value area high here. Okay, whenever you see consolidation, expansion, retracement, the value area low, if you pull back, is the first thing you touch. So if you get a rejection from that level, you know, this is the first level to then look at. If it comes above here, point of control is next. And then you can also start looking for a rejection, all right? If it's the other way around, the value area high is that first layer of support potentially. All right, this is what we see, or we just saw with Harmony 1, for example. That was a great example for today's or yesterday's stream, okay? So in that manner, the fixed forward profile is a key level. I think it's important to wait for price to get into that level, especially if the tether dominance decides to come down here. But I have a feeling, guys, we start shifting to the upside. But hey, don't you know, base your analysis on feeling. Kind of like pattern recognition in some ways and another, all right? We could see this potentially breaking above here. That's the confirmation, and that's when we are going to short a bunch of setups that we have been longing yesterday, okay? So we traded up, we traded down, whatever the case may be here. All right, beautiful. In the meantime, guys, we have 39 likes, 49 watching. We can get like 10 more likes right now at this particular moment. So make sure you liberate this like button here so we can start looking for some nice setups for you. Perfect. Month sources, I took the order trade twice. I also took the retracement to the 79% fib. Beautiful. Marton said, that's why we're here and do it every single day. Marton, I feel you, man. I feel you. I really appreciate it. And I think you're doing great. So fantastic. Really, really, really nice. AVAX dominance chart breaking weekly resistance. Does that mean a bullish indication? So the fact that the AVAX dominance is actually, you know, holding up and breaking a weekly level. Great that you're paying attention, my friend, Arvind. Very, very nice. Okay, let's add to the AVAX dominance here. We can talk about it right now. Great question. So AVAX right here. This is not the AVAX chart. This is the AVAX dominance chart, okay? The fact that the AVAX dominance chart breaks out doesn't mean that AVAX itself is bullish. All right? Sometimes the AVAX dominance can break out to the upside. For example, if you go to the weekly here, I don't know where you saw it here. I didn't see that break out, in my opinion. I think we're still holding above it. But to get your point here, let's you know, imagine that the AVAX dominance chart breaks out to the upside, and the whole market is coming down. That just can mean that AVAX itself comes down, but less than the other ones, if that makes sense. It's holding, you know, more dominance in the overall market here. So that's the way we should look at the AVAX dominance. You always should look at, okay, what is the sentiment of the market? What is the whole market doing? And how are then the dominance factors, you know, important here? And how are they reflected into price? That's why we're looking at the dominance chart here. So it all depends on the market. If the market is bullish and the AVAX dominance breaks out to the upside here, AVAX is front running other cryptocurrencies. That's usually what you're going to see here. Okay. So for example, that's why we call it the secondary dominance here. I'm going to share it one more time right now. Let me share the link real quick. Let's put it in the YouTube setups here. So get into our Discord if you're not in yet. That's the watch list. Get that watch list in your watch list as well on TradingView. Import everything and look at these dominance factors because they are important. For example, right now at the moment you can see that the Solana dominance is 2.82%. The market was bullish. That means that Solana itself has probably been outperforming many of the other other ones in the very, very short term here. When looking at, for example, the bigger range, especially compare that to the top 10, you could see that the Solana is still performing very, very well right now. Okay, for example, Link slightly less at this particular moment, right? So that's why the dominance factors are important. But we're gonna go over it much more here. We will constantly reflect and come back, and I think that's important to mention. Okay, the goal is right now to get our setups in, to create a watch list again, and to make sure that we are prepared for tomorrow. All right, tomorrow I have a business trip. I'm gonna go and meet somebody very important in Singapore. So I'm gonna fly to Singapore. I might be streaming from the hotel. I think it's like a 90% chance that I will be streaming from the hotel right there. So yeah, I'm gonna be streaming abroad. All right. So yeah, gonna be flying tomorrow morning. Gonna be there in the afternoon, in the evening. For me, then at least, we'll probably be streaming. So we're gonna go over all the setups. Don't worry, we're gonna be here regardless. We're gonna make it happen. Okay. For now though, we're gonna go and look at a new watch list right here, and look at key levels. Make sure you ask questions. It's very important for you to ask anything you want here. This is what we're here for. All right. We're not here for just me to talk only constantly. It's also important for you to ask the right questions. That's the way we can help you out and become a better version of yourself. All right. Very important. Okay. What do we have today on the radar? What is on our plate here? We're gonna find out in a second here. The Tether dominance right now is still getting rejected, but is this a true rejection? Is this now a true rejection? Let me know what you think in the chat here. Do you think that this is a true rejection here, or are we waiting for something? Are we waiting for some volume maybe to kick in again before we know? Okay, we will see. All right. If Bitcoin, by the way, breaks this low here and Bitcoin starts coming below the 39.9, right? That's a true breaker moment. So, a potential 39.9 here, a potential pullback to the downside here. Okay. Bitcoin seems to be making an inverted head and shoulders pattern. It tried to break above, but it failed. What's your view? So for now, like, in regards to like an inverted head and shoulders pattern, oh, wait 1 second here. There we go. Oh, wait, what happened here? All right, there we go. Boom. Yeah, so in regards to an inverted head and shoulders pattern here, yeah, I do see what you mean here. You have this low, you have this low, you have this low here. But wasn't this already like the break, like right now, it's probably a reason why a lot of people are long right now. And it's also probably a reason why there is so much liquidity built up below. All right, so I definitely don't want to neglect that liquidity here. In regards to just trading head and shoulders patterns, because it's a head and shoulders pattern, like I cannot get away with it. All right, I cannot get away with it. If for me personally, this is unacceptable for myself as a trader. I need to have multiple confluences and confirmations to see what's happening here. And by understanding, potentially other charts here, potentially, yeah, then it gives me a little bit more confirmation. So the Tether dominance one is that key confirmation that we could look for. For example, the reason why is because, this, it sketches a very clear, image of the situation. Because if we break above this high here, it's a clear confirmation that most likely we should be continuing its journey up. The probability is higher that we're going to come up here and continuing up here in the very, very short term, at least to the 6.44%. But that move by itself already is very bearish for the market here. Okay, so therefore I'm always waiting for more confirmations that if we break on the, let's say, 4 hour above the 40.2k, that you could then say that's your inverted head and shoulders formation confirmation pattern, right? And that could lead into continuation here. But I think it's better to look at the daily time frame and just simply look at, okay, what was previous support? We broke it. We closed the daily candle below it. Multiple right now. We're now back at it and testing it at resistance here. What if we just get rejected there, right? If you close the daily candle above it, who knows? We might be shooting up and continuing to the upside here. That confirmation is not there yet. For now, we're still below it. So if we start breaking structure here, I think this is going to be another flush out to the downside. This is what I still think. But again, what would invalidate my bias? A 4 hour closure above the 40.3 or a break, below the 6.2%. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay. Trader tips is check out Ordi. Now we get a new high with a wick. A big shout out to Trader Tim. Yeah, let's look at Ordi then. Let's do it. Let's look at Ordi right here. Let's see what Ordi is doing here. Okay, we're still up that range and high time frame. So yeah, we are back. We are back at where we came from initially from yesterday. We are holding here nicely. We have been closing below this level. So we swiped the highs here yesterday, or today, sorry. So no, this is leading to more continuation. What do you think, Tim? What are you looking at? I think that this could lead into more continuation to the downside there. Even though the fact that the Tether dominance is still not holding up, that well is still below that resistance here. Already is already coming down as well. And of course the Bitcoin dominance is up here. So yeah, that top wick is indeed interesting if that's what you mean. And we have that previous wick. Could that be a wick fill? If that's the case, it's gonna be like another drop to the downside. I'm quite neutral for now, but I think that if we want to look for longs, we need to close above. Let me see real quick. We need to close above. Yeah, the 54. Yeah, the 54. For now, I'm still leaning more towards continuation shorts here. Okay, so that's interesting to look at. Okay, we keep a close. We will keep a very close eye on it. Bitcoin is already coming down. We will find out in a second if this is the real deal, or if not. Okay. Yes, sir. I have to go. Thank you. Have a good day, my friend. My dad and I took a hunting trip. Billy Joe says, my dad and I took a hunting trip and a road sign said beer left, so we went home. Cosmo says, hello. What's happening, my friend? Good to see you. Yeah, so closure below 39.9. Shorty Bitcoin. Shorty Bitcoin. Right there. Okay. So, quickly in the chat. While we're waiting, we're going to look at a bunch more setups today. Don't worry, a lot of things are coming along here. But what is it what you want to achieve this? What is your goal so far? Have you set your goals this year in 2024? You have now probably heard from a lot of different guys here that this is potentially the year of crypto here. So did you make a plan for yourself? And if not, why not? Why not? All right. Would love to hear your mindset in this, just to get a quick view from the community here. What is your thought process right now? How are you going to prepare yourself for this upcoming bull run? And what is it what you're going to change you know, in regards to your daily habits or whatever the case may be, whatever is holding you back right now, something has to change, right? So therefore, I'm very curious to see what your perspective is here. Okay, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for your answers here, let me quickly look at Cardano, because Cardano is showing us, the same as BNB, by the way, some weaker confirmations. So Cardano, BNB, and Chainlink are, all three of them, they're losing dominance right now. All right, so therefore, let's quickly look at Cardano at the moment here. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, this is looking like a potential sell-off. Okay, back towards the weekly, back towards the key weekly level here at 45 cents. Okay, we are now topping into the value area low. We are seeing that liquidity building to the downside here. This is not really looking solid here. You could see already, based upon that dominance right now. Okay, the crypto ecosystem right here. I shared the watch list in Discord. You can get it right now if you go to the YouTube setup section. You directly import, you know, everything into your trading view. You can see that the Cardano dominance lost 1.4%. All right, BNB lost 1.8% here. So you can see now that Cardano is setting itself up for a short opportunity here, and it's gonna be quick if the Tether dominance is breaking out of this level. Okay, so Cardano is one. BNB is just not really looking that strong in general. Okay, the problem with BNB, however, is that if you zoom out, that we are still kind of holding above that support, and we're kind of ranging here. So yes, BNB has just been not coming up while everything else was coming up here as much. Okay, so therefore you could see right here that you know, this is just a range where you have to stay out of right now. That's it. Cardano is looking much more interesting to look at this particular moment here. So let's go to the lower time frame. What is going to be our entry? Well, let's just check it out here. What are the levels right now? Let's just see what we have here. All right, let's just get Bookmap involved. Let's see what kind of levels are interesting right now. What's happening? Okay. $47.15. 47.15. Let's see what we have there. 47.15 is okay. That's right in that zone right now. So we have kind of this this layer. All right, let's just see how we react here. Yeah, so if you create a lower low here and you come up, we might be looking for that confirmation, but you need to see a lower low first. That'll be ideal. Let's see how this one goes. We'll keep a close eye on this one in a second here. Pavel says, get my first funded account. Spent 30% from my job payment into investing and understand the crypto markets more and more. Beautiful. So funded account, okay, amazing. 30% from your job payment into investing here. Well, then I can guarantee you that this is most likely going to be the best moment to dollar cost average into your position here. There's nothing wrong with dollar cost averaging, by the way, as long as you dollar cost average at the bottom and not at the top. That's a big mistake that I made in the past here when I started out as a trader, all the way at the beginning of my career. I was like, you know what? I read on YouTube that dollar cost averaging is the best thing to do, because no matter what, you have an average. Yeah, but what happens if your cash flow stops and there is no more money to put in? Then there is no way to dollar cost average. And secondary, dollar cost averaging at the top of a range is also not really that smart and that intelligent from Lorenzo. However, you know, we have to go through the process here. even I started out from scratch. I started out making every single stupid mistake in the books. And that's not even that long ago. I mean, it's, well, I mean, you know, whatever. It's around 6 or 7 years ago when I started for the first time, when I placed my first trade, you could say. But do take consideration that I've been fucking around for 3 or 4 years straight before I started to take it serious. If I've done, you know, and I put in the work from the beginning, I would have been much faster than that. And especially if I had the right community and the right people around me and the right instructions and all of that. So, you know, I wasted tremendous amount of time. You know, the good thing about that though was that I've tried a lot of different things and I gained a lot of perspective over time as well. But by making actually more mistakes than I should have made. So yeah, it's better to learn from other ones' mistakes than from your own mistakes. But unfortunately, some people just have to really get into the bottom, you know, and feel completely useless before they finally start taking action. That's just the reality of most of us, right? Even me. I was one of these guys that were, you know, always waiting for it to go. I had to go to my lowest point for some reason. And then from my lowest point, that was the moment when I started realizing, okay, now I need to change things up here. Whereas when I was in a high, I didn't have the effort to continue that momentum. So, you know, all kinds of things here. But yeah, that's all part of our journey. Rafael says financial freedom is the ultimate goal. Baby steps. Baby steps. Very well said. Maria Gonzalez, be a full-time trader. I mean, Maria, you're here every single day. You're paying attention. I love it. I absolutely love it here. You know, if you have any questions specifically, please, you know, feel free to ask on Discord, whatever you want to do it. Let me know. Marton says, I have a plan. Doing it every day since this year started. I have big goals with Limitless. I'm going to contact you later this year. But right now, just focusing, learning, and getting better every single day. Amazing. Well, great that you started working with Tim. Tim has been going through all of, you know, his struggles before as a trader. He has been improving a lot over the last years. I think you're in an amazing hands here with one of our mentors of the Limit Trade Academy. So beautiful, Marton. Thank you for sharing. Monsieur says Solana seems to be rejecting from the previous weekly low. After hitting an order block, also liquidity building up. Seems like a short setup. Okay, let's look at Solana. And let's see what we have here. Yeah, so we came into the zone. Fantastic. Beautiful. Rejection. 15 minutes. Fantastic. Fantastic. Beautiful rejections here so far. Okay. Liquidity building. Like you said, Monsieur. Yes, I agree. We're starting to build that you know, 45-degree angle, which is usually something that, you know, that shows me that if you break, it's gonna be a quick one. It's gonna be a quick move here. So yes, I do like it a lot, my friend. I do like it a lot here. So the 15 minute right now. Let's go back one more time here. The 1 hour time frame tapped into that high. We shoot down. Okay, fantastic. So low rejection at the high here was the start. Don't neglect horizontal levels here of this level of support here. So this was an area of supply. This was an area of support turning into resistance right there. So beautiful rejection from that hourly. Then the 15 minute created the top. We are now breaking below here. What we need to do right now is we need to start breaking continuously below. The tether dominance needs to break above. Otherwise, there is no trade whatsoever. We need to break above here. So most likely, what you're going to see is a break below the 85. Below this range. So the reason why I highlight both is because this is now the high where we kind of have been bouncing from. Oh, so on the lower time frame. So it's this one right here. It's this one right there. So this was that initial high. We flipped it into support. And right now what you want to see here is you want to come down and turn it into resistance. And if you turn this into resistance, boom, to the lows, baby. That's it. Break the low, pull up, back down. 79, $80. Solana. Okay. That's a confirmation. So, lower low, lower high, boom, entry. Stop loss above the previous high. We will see how that goes. The confirmation is not there yet. You know why. All right? Tether dominance. Very important. Okay. Thank you for sharing. Euro says, what is the difference between crypto trading and investing? Well, crypto trading, number one, is speculating on the markets right here in the short term, usually, right? You want to get in and get out. You want to make your money quickly. Yes, you can be a swing trader. You can hold your positions for a while, a couple weeks, a couple months, whatsoever. But there is a massive difference between trading and investing. In my opinion, trading is a place where we generate cash flow. It's all about creating that daily income, that monthly income that can support your family, can support yourself, that can be used to invest eventually and go to more of an investment strategy. So you put the cash flow you generate into your potential investments to then look for the right, the right benefits. All right. So in that manner, I do believe that investments are there to create that long-term wealth, that generational wealth. All right. That's your investment perspective. Whatever you put in, you want to get out more. In regards to trading, it's just generating cash flow, build up your portfolio, get a much better understanding of the market in the short term. Why? Because you just learn much more. That's why I'm a big fan of trading. And I also believe that, going from trading to investing is what a lot of big players do here, right? They start off as a trader, they build up their portfolio, then their portfolio becomes, big enough where it's just more interesting to just, be less active as a trader and start going more into the investment, mindset, because you have enough capital to work with. You can be as patient as you want while setting yourself up for success here, due to the fact that you could just wait for the right opportunities in the market to play out. And this is when you capitalize. This is when you make your move here. That's a key difference, in my opinion, between trading and investing. And I do believe that both is equally important. But there is nothing more, there is nothing better than starting out as a trader and becoming an investor later on. Because you take all of that understanding from a fundamental standpoint, thousands of trades you have executed, technical understanding, all of these layers you bring into your next phase. And this is where the real magic, occurs and happens right there. So I think it's, much better to start as a trader to then move to an investor. So you guys are on the right path right now. And there is nothing more interesting than the financial markets. And the reason why is because this is what, is truly controlling the whole world. By understanding the money flow, by understanding the charts, day in, day out, you start generating more and more information. You start accumulating more information over time. Oh, last time, this war broke out in whatever, the defense contracts or whatever the case may be, whatever, some sort of company, some stock in the defense sector shoot up before. That's suspicious. Everything is traceable, by just following the money. That's what I like so much about investing, about trading, because it truly represents a lot of aspects of your day-to-day life without you even realizing it. So that's why it's such a powerful thing to be involved in my opinion. Okay, raises the dollar tether dominance is coming back up here. It is coming up slowly but steadily here. We're just waiting for that squeeze, that true breakout. Okay, this is not there yet. We're actually losing a lot of volume here. So the thing that we can do today is just to paint some scenarios. Okay, scenario number one for Solana is that breakdown. All right, we talked about this one right here just now. You want to see that break below, flipping it into support, into resistance, and then selling off, or you break above it at the 88. That's the key level, the 88.28, and you flip it into support. These like are the two scenarios right now, because the tether dominance didn't give us that confirmation yet. So that confirmation is a necessity for us to, you know, make a decision on what we want to trade here. So you can paint two pictures. For now, I'm leaning 70% to the downside. That's Solana. Okay, before we continue, let's just quickly do a couple more setups here. We have been in 1 hour right now. I want to go over a couple more. I think it's important to, you know, build our watch list right now. Solana, okay, 1, fantastic, we have it. I want to see some more setups from you guys right now. The second one was Cardano, right? We talked about Cardano here. Can definitely not neglect the Cardano. I think this is going to be a big one. If we break down here, Cardano is going to be a big one. For sure. What do we have here? Midnight Praise is Kobe Tony from the V3 here. First time on Crypto Live. Learned a great deal early on today from Tommy. Beautiful. Fantastic, my friend. Martol says, W speech as always. That's why we're here every day, following a person who's done it so we can learn from him. That's it. And the struggles have been real, man. The struggles have been absolutely real. The struggles, the pain, the tears, not the crying, but the tears. It all, you know, it all was there. It all was there throughout my my journey. Absolutely. Okay, I want to see a couple more setups. Otherwise, I'm gonna just scroll through most of them here. Well, we have Cardano. We have talked about BNB. That's not really interesting here. Chainlink. Not really. Matic. Let's go over Matic here. Right. I think that Matic is an interesting one to look at. Yeah, exactly. So Matic right now, 30-minute. What do we see? Boom. First thing we see right here, right away, right? Clear rejection. Super clear as it gets. Super simple, guys. All right. Consolidation here. You had some support here. You came up. You flip it in resistance. Boom. That's the first sign. You don't have to take an entry from it. That's the first sign. All right. Rejection. 15-minute time frame. Tremendous amount of liquidity built up. Very suspicious. Just the way we're setting up here right now, it's getting too clean. Whenever a trend line gets too clean, too easy to read, it's usually not a good sign. Usually it's not a good sign here. So, okay. What's the next layer to look at? Well, internal structures, right? So, this is the high. We're still kind of holding above this range. The major initial lows are here. This was that initial high that created that low. So you want to break below the 7255. The 7255 is what we're looking for. Waiting for that break and a potential flush out to the downside back towards the lows right here. Could be very, very interesting here. Yeah, Matic looks solid. We could still come up to the upside as well. So I would not neglect this high here. Absolutely not here. I do think that a push to the upside could even be more beneficial if price decides to move up first. Because then we're just highlighting this high to low. And then you come back to the 70.5 and 79%. And you have that beautiful zone right here. Right there, sitting right in that sweet spot. You know, if we can get there, I mean, it's worth the trade. It's definitely worth the trade here. Getting in and then looking for that flush out right now, because that's where you get these big trade setups. All right, if you then put your entry right at the top, stop loss above the high, so the entry at like 73.94. Your stop loss at 74.18. And then it's time to target the lows. And think about this. This is a 20 to 1 on your money. 20 to 1. So if you risk $20, you make $400 on that trade right here. You know, that's one layer. Okay. Now, is it a big trade? Well, 6%. I mean, things go up and down with 6% on a day-to-day basis in crypto. That's pretty average, if you ask me right here. And like, look at the day today: 28, 21, 4, 6, 4, 4, 6. The average is sitting around, you know, that percentage right there. So, you know, do take consideration that if you come up and there are signs of a rejection here, it's worth it. It's worth it. You don't even have to risk that much, due to the fact that your risk to reward is so significant right here. Okay. If you get stopped out, whatever, you go back to the top of that range and you see if it makes sense again above that level. You try it again. And this is usually the confirmation. Of course, what you want to see, if you are in there, that the tether dominance then at least is showing you some lower time frame support. You know, it could be this level. It could be this level. You know, at least some support for it to potentially come down and then come up here. Because if price comes down here, of course, Solana or sorry, Matic is going to push up. Otherwise, it's not going to push up. Otherwise, we're going to see that flush out earlier. Hope that makes sense here. Now, I'm very curious to see how this one goes. Yeah, this could turn into one of these moves here. Okay, I'm gonna look at it and add it to the watch list. See how we can take advantage of it. Bro, have you ever blown up your account? I have blown up my account before. Yeah, at the top of a range, dollar cost averaging, a big account as well. Yeah, stuck in my position for a long period of time, trying to save myself. No way. At the sell at the bottom. The biggest mistake you can ever make is buy high and sell low. Like, just forget about it then. Just whatever. If that's truly the mistake you make, it is what it is. From like a funding perspective, funding accounts. I mean, we've never been really into funding accounts. It was not really, you know, happening when we started out. So that came all later. So that has just been, you know, been more for fun and like building up and trying things out and testing and stuff. So yeah. Space Blanket says WIF, please, has a massive run up yesterday. All right, let's do it. Okay, yeah. So yeah, this is just, yeah, this was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah, well, really nice. Tapped into it earlier. Tapped it in again. Right there. Yeah, it's now breaking. It's kind of retesting a breakout of that trend here. It's kind of holding above this level. Yeah, it's looking very strong. It's looking very strong, and also like a closure above this high here could lead into that continuation. You know, for example, back towards the 39.20. So that's kind of this range, and this is then another 10% maybe. This is where you're gonna start facing some serious resistance here, because this is where you have that topping tail right here. 1, 2, 3. This is like your target if that's the case. So yeah, we might be continuing its momentum if you close above it here in like 26 minutes and the tether dominance comes down. Then it could be something to take in consideration. I'm not gonna add this one to the list, but yeah, it's definitely something to look at. Keep the 39 cents as like a key level. Martel says Ocean. All right, let's go to Ocean, my friend. Okay. Holding tight. Holding very, very tight here. Yeah, we're holding it. We're holding in that zone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Lower. Yeah, we need to really start breaking above these highs, so Marton. If you want to look for longs here, you're right in that support on the daily. No confirmation. There is also no confirmation from the upside here. You need to come and break all the way up, at least the 43.5. You know, then look for continuation. We're now in the middle of yeah, we're right at support, but you don't have that confirmation yet because it's on the higher time frame. So we need to give this more time to develop. Much more time to develop here. This will take a couple more days, and then we know for Ocean. Just because of the higher time frame. The low, that high, lower low, daily support. So you want to see at least an initial break internally on the medium time frame before we can start thinking about the lower time frame confirmations and setups and all that stuff, right? So, you know, you can also already see that, you know, on the 4-hour or 3-hour chart here, we have these wicks there. Yet you are in daily support. So we're gonna wait for price to develop. All right. Definitely looking for a little bit more time. We give it a little bit more time here. Okay, I'm gonna go through a couple more. Litecoin. Okay, Litecoin did great for a while. Did less great in the last week or two. It started to slow down. So yeah, we're not looking good here. This is what we call a bear flag. Usually I don't really call out these type of patterns here, but this is just what I think is gonna happen here. If the Tether numbers decide to come down, then we're gonna see a pullback towards the 76 and a sell-off back to the weekly support. Scenario number one. Scenario number two, boom. Straight Titanic behavior back to the bottom. Okay, $60 right there. So it's one of those factors here. This is what you want, of course. You want price to push up because you then, you know, squeeze in and trap a lot of people that are long to then flip it on them and then go for their stop losses. And then you're in the top position and then you can, you know, enjoy the ride here. If you start entering from a breakdown, then, you know, you have to be very aware of your risk management. Your risk to reward is going to be probably a little bit less here. But again, there is a lot more confirmation. So that's definitely the case here. Monsieur says, do you only trade or invest also? Like you're holding alts in Bitcoin? Yeah, absolutely. We had a buy limit at 38K. I showed you guys it a couple days ago. That's dollar cost averaging. 38K, 24K, 31K. So we have our orders set and filled. We are invested at the same time. We are also, you know, we are in some smaller projects. Some very interesting projects to look at, which I believe are going to be top. But, you know, we'll see how that goes. No guarantees here. Willing to risk it, though. The risk to reward is truly what matters. So when you're thinking about, you know, risk to reward here, you know, just also think about from your life perspective. Like if you invest in something, what is the reward you get? It's funny, you know, that a lot of traders, right, are trading. What is your risk to reward? You know, 1 to 2, 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. In trading, they're amazing. And understanding risk to reward in life, sometimes they're lacking a little bit. So what you want to do sometimes is to understand the spectrum, the full spectrum, and in retrospect is think, okay, maybe these small projects are not going to play out here, but if you are going to see a massive bull run And if truly the market is gonna go, then, you know, is it worth it to just put in some of my portfolio into really, really, really small caps, which I have done some, you know, analysis in, some research towards to, and then based upon that, make some potential, you know, investment decisions. For me personally, 100%. I'm willing to risk whatever I need to risk here. At least not everything, but at least, you know, I'm not holding back, that's for sure. Okay. Risk to reward. Sometimes you have to take chances in life. If you truly want to change things up here, and if you don't want to be stuck, you know, sometimes that's the only way. So yeah, this is why, you know, you see these stories of these like 18 and 19-year-olds suddenly becoming crypto millionaires, you know, and making a shit ton of money just because they bought, you know, some of these projects at the right moment in time. Question is then, is that luck? Is that luck? Well, maybe in some cases it is. But again, it's not easy to find these projects. Sometimes you have to be sharp. You have to be involved. You have to be tuned in order to get these type of returns here. So we can talk about this all in our Discord, by the way. We have our early investment section. We're going to share a bunch of stuff in there as well, due to the fact that, you know, we have been exposed to that, of course. So that's why it's important for you maybe as well here. But not yet. It's coming. It's coming. We are not there yet right now. Okay. Trading Tim says altcoins are bleeding. That means one thing, guys. What is happening here? Let me know in the chat. Altcoins are bleeding. What is happening? We just talked about it here. Let's go through the process one more time here. While you're thinking about your answer, you can also smash up that like button right here. We have 48 likes. Want to have 50 likes in a matter of seconds here. So do that as well while you're thinking about your answer or what's happening in the market right now at the moment. Okay. Indeed, Bitcoin is coming down here. Okay. Tether dominance is starting to pick up a little bit. Okay. The Tether dominance is coming up here. There we go. Vicky, Tether dominance coming up. Fantastic. What's next? Bitcoin dominance is in support, is pushing up here. Okay, so if that happens, the combination of the Tether dominance pushing up and the Bitcoin dominance pushing up here means that altcoins are potentially going to bleed down heavily. Okay, so that's why Cardano was interesting, due to the fact that that liquidity does not lie here. Okay. Billy Joe says you could trade an investment that you believe in from a separate account. Leave your money in your investment and trade it in another account. Sometimes a good way to hedge against an investment. I agree. I completely agree. It's hard sometimes to not get too greedy. I do completely agree with what you're saying here. Absolutely. Yeah, so Cardano pushing down. It's the beginning, hopefully, of a flush down here. Okay, Bitcoin as well. The question is though, is the Tether dominance now actually strong enough for that continuation? Well, the way we're setting up here, it seems like we're compressing, and we're just simply waiting for that expansion here. So we have to wait for the confirmation for these setups here. That's why it's so important to now get ready and note a couple of them. Cardano is one of them, for sure. Matic also. Solana still has some way to go. Okay, we have Polkadot right now. There we go. Beautiful. That was a fantastic trade on Polkadot. Right now though, it's flipping, and it's flipping quite aggressively. So we're coming back into that initial range. Let me see what kind of level that exactly was. Just want to be clear here. It's 12 high. All right, we'll do some research to that level here. Let me set up the high. Lower low. Breakdown. Rejection right now as well here. Look at Polkadot right here, guys. Polkadot is gonna tank. Polkadot is gonna tank here. This is looking and smelling like a pull down or a pullback here. A breakdown, you could better say. So what does need to happen? We need to break below the 6.378. Why? Well, look at this high. Look at this support. Look at this support. Don't buy in support. Either buy in a sell limit here, or sorry, sell in a sell limit here, or sell below support. That's it. So anything below the 6.378 here, let the Tether dominance do its thing. I think when we break to the upside and Polkadot is coming down here and it breaks below, closes below, entry, short, down. Continuation. What happened then was you printed the lows, you took out the early shorters here that did not take profit. These got stopped out. Now it's time to continue its momentum here. Again, the confirmation is not there from the Tether dominance here. We can say whatever we want here, but this is all a hypothesis. Sorry, I need to work on my English sometimes still. Above the 6.34% is where the confirmation lays. We're getting in that direction though. All right. What else do we have? A couple more. Polkadot. Fantastic. Add it to the list. Matic. Add it to the list. Link short looks very weak. Yeah, Link. What I don't like about Link is the way, and I show you exactly what I mean. Look at, let's say, well, it could be. It is not looking that particularly strong. But the way it's formulating that channel here is, in my opinion, less aggressive as, for example, Polkadot. Look at the difference here between the way Polkadot has been coming down and breaking down and the way Chainlink right now is building that channel here. If that makes sense. So, this yes, we could come down here, no, for sure. But if I would put my money into something, I might be putting it into Polkadot, for example, right? Just because of that curve that we're seeing here. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll to a couple ones here. Phantom. Oh yeah, that was a daily trade. What do we have in our list right now? Solana, Cardano, Polkadot, Matic. Phantom. No. It's holding up very strong. Smells like more upside still. Okay, no, this is still on the stronger side here. I think that Phantom is still holding up a little bit too strong here. Monsieur says Aave. Okay, let's go to Aave here. Right, 50. That's a $90. That's good. That's rejection. That's what I mean. So, okay, so Aave closed below the daily levels. So this was support, break, retracement, retest of that break. So you have this zone as well. Is an initial drop-off point. So, that's only 4 hour, of course. But now this range is matters a lot. That rejection is already there. This could lead into a rejection point and a continuation to the downside. So I push up, rejection, flush down here. Something in that manner. Still being a little bit more patient with with Aave as well here, due to the fact that I think that like one more swipe into that range and then a sell off could be interesting. On the lower time frame, we could still look for lower time frame opportunity. Yeah, I would really wait for the highs to be to come for the highs. For this high here, for the top of that range. You know, you could see that there's potentially some rest liquidity there. You come up, you start pushing into that zone at the $90. And then, boom, continuation to the downside here. What would be a bullish scenario? A bullish scenario would be a daily closure above the 90.36 again. So that means that you reclaim back what you've lost. So, for example, the sellers were in control here. They still are. A daily candle closure above this level could be the first sign of a short-term recovery. And if not, then maybe a continuation, who knows? All right. Okay, I'm gonna go to 2 more charts here. Let me know in the chat what you guys want to see. Let's literally go to a couple of them. 2 more. Let's see what we have here. Tether dominance is still coming down. No confirmation whatsoever yet from that side here. We're still holding below here. We're still holding below that key level. At this particular moment, we have to check out Ethereum, by the way. Yeah, again, and the 20 to 20. I was looking it up today. I was looking at this level all day long today for Ethereum. The 20 to 20. I was looking at it. I don't want to go too deep into that stuff here, but you know, I was looking at it for a very, very long period of time. And you know, that Ethereum 2020 level was an absolute key level to look at every single time here. We had that major sell right here, that red bubble that you can see here. Okay, what it means is that sellers tried aggressively to sell into support, but they couldn't break it. That means that, you know, passive buyers were stepping into the market right here. So we wanted to break down, we couldn't break down. The sellers tried everything they could. After that sell, the sellers gave up. And you could see that it was just a continuation. So from the moment that passive buyers, you know, stepped in while the aggressive sellers were in control, couldn't break the price, couldn't break below the 20 to 20, then the passive buyers turned into aggressive buyers, took over, and boom, shoot up from there. So a beautiful example to look at Ethereum. So I was looking at that key level, and we just literally tapped into it again. So this was in the afternoon. And we just literally tapped into it again, and we couldn't break it again. And now we're kind of pushing up here. So Ethereum is just holding up very, very strong, guys, at this particular moment in time. And, you know, this is definitely not something I'm interested in shorting right now, due to the fact that, you know, the way we're setting up here, Ethereum is looking still, you know, way too strong at this particular moment. What could lead into continuation? Bullish continuation? Well, I'm not going to give you a direct setup for this one, but a continuation, a closure above the 2245 could lead into a continuation towards the 2280. And that's like a really nice clean move here. It's a very clean potential setup here. So if you close above it, could be even on the 1 hour time frame or whatever the case may be, then, you know, you could be, I would do at least a 2. Why? Because you have these wicks here. You could look for that continuation to the upside here for Ethereum, especially if Tether indeed comes down and gets rejected. Then Ethereum is definitely on my radar. You know what? I'm actually going to add it to the list regardless if price flips and turns around here. Okay. Thank you for sharing. First page says nay. Pavel says XAI. XI. Okay, this is on the 1 hour. Right here. I saw it right away. 1 hour. This zone right there. Boom. Tapped into that zone. Still looking very, very strong here. Just right now breaking that high. I would wait for the pullback. I think this is a rejection point. I think that yeah. I would wait for the pullback. I look for further continuation if indeed you see the Tether dollars breaking down, but this is looking quite good here. Yeah, looking strong. Looking strong. This is no shorting for sure. No shorting at the moment here. Definitely not the case here. Okay. Yeah, setup wise, yeah, anything below the 74 cents, something like that, leading into a pullback, and then look for that continuation to these highs right here, which is the top of that range right there. And I think that's like a key level to look at, which is sitting at around 83.5. So that's a serious move. Followed by that continuation. This could happen tomorrow. This could happen in 2 days. You know, who knows? But at least set an alert there. And if price gets there, then look at the sentiment of the market and if it makes sense for you to enter. All right, but I do think it's an important one to highlight. Definitely. Okay. Pavel says, or sorry, first 8 says near. There we go. Let's go to near. Beautiful. First thing we see, guys. Support. Daily support. Okay. Daily support right here. Boom. Expansion, retracement. Holding up here. Closed above it yesterday. Fantastic. Next candle. Getting butt up again. Looking solid. Confirmation. Fantastic. Beautiful zone supporting you. That's what you want to see. Liquidity, check. Liquidity built up. Compression, check. Breakout potential, check. Looking really nice. Yeah, no, really nice here. So, okay, this is the 1 hour. Of course, the best entry by far will be right here. Stop loss below and target the highs here. 6 to 1 on your money. Okay, beautiful. No, sorry, my bad. This high, 5 to 1. All right, 5 to 1 on your money here. This is the high you're looking for. You come back towards that bigger range. That was that initial drop off right there. So that's the ideal. You know, pulling back, looking for that continuation to the upside right here. If we suddenly break the 15-minute, 30-minute highs, okay. So that's this one right here. The initial lows. You have one stop in between, which is gonna be, in my opinion, the lows right there. Right? Something in that manner. But there is a level in between here. In my opinion, it's worth it to not be greedy and just to wait for price to come back towards the daily one more time. Stop loss below and then boom, expansion. In my opinion, that's worth it. You know, you don't have to take every single trade. If you do break out here, you could say, okay, I'm gonna just spread my risk like we talked before at the beginning of the stream. If you risk 1% or risk 2% per trade, then go 1-1 and see which one plays out. Daily support is key. An ideal level to start looking for long setups. An ideal level. Okay. Okay, that's it for today, guys. We're going to be back tomorrow, potentially. 90% sure I'm going to be here for you guys. I have to fly one more time to Singapore. I have a business meeting, a couple other things that I need to do there. So I'm going to be streaming from the hotel. You know, keep a very close eye on the markets right now. Of course, we're still waiting for the Tether dominance rejection. In the meantime, gives you enough time to set your goals straight for this year. You know, it's important for you to set everything straight. Make sure that you are structured. You want to bring more structure into your life. I know it's boring, but it's the reality, okay? Take advantage of 2024, 2025. I cannot say it enough. We'll probably tell you in another 100 times over the next coming days, weeks ahead of us here. If you're new, join our Discord. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Make sure you smash the like button as well. Very important. And of course, keep you guys updated in regards to everything that's happening in the markets as always. And so is Tim. So is Cowboy. We're here for you, okay? You have found your community. I'm going to see you very soon here. Thank you very much for today. We're still waiting for that confirmation. We're going to see it at any given moment. Peace out, guys. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.